Hear that, Paige?
Yeah, I can't believe you were going to fake that. Just for the listeners at home.
No butts allowed. Quick, behind the curtains. We're recording this at a time we don't normally record. A lot going on. We leave for Miami very soon, less than 24 hours. We're about to go live, and I say, hey, I don't have a beer or a drink. And
I already pressed record, so poor producer Matt has to chop like 2 minutes of us.
And your face, you were shocked. It was like appalled. And I was like,
well, also, today is your birthday.
Well, thank you.
I was like, happy birthday. I was like, what are we doing here with the fact that like you are, of all the episodes and days, to not have a
dry
beer?
January. Yeah, right. Like,
no. And also, I've never committed to doing dry January in my life because I've always had to go to the national championship, and I had no willpower to say no to the open bar at hospitality. So,
no, dry January. It's not a good month, right? Everyone who's doing
it's not for us.
Go do your thing.
It's not for us. We're working college football. It's really not.
No, they're not a lot of dry this weekend. This weekend, so we are headed to the Natty. We'll talk about that. We are Miami bound tomorrow. So by the time people are listening to this, we're in the air. You have to essentially travel all day, cross country. And I remember we were talking about that when we went to New York. Time change, hours. It's a marathon for you. But what's the vibe check heading into another national championship?
So vibe check is good. Obviously, I'm excited about this matchup because I think story-wise, like, not to say that the last couple of national championships have been boring, because of course I felt like Ohio State was a good story, but the game itself was very boring. So I'm hoping maybe this game isn't super boring, but even if Indiana blows Miami out, like, that will be exciting. Like, it's Indiana football. So I feel like that part of it is really fun. I love being on the ground and just like experiencing these teams, players, and people all in person when you cover them all year long. It's a really fun thing for you and I to get to do, along with our good friend David Kenyon, who is going with us for BR. But also just Miami, we haven't had like a vibe quite like this for a national championship since New Orleans in 2020.
Agreed. Yeah.
We've not had a vibe like this. So I feel like the vibes are really good. Some sunshine, I think, will do us both good. You obviously live somewhere where it's normally cold, and where I live right now, it's been abnormally cold and dark and gloomy. So I am very excited that it will be nice in Miami. Vibes are good. I've been sick for like the last week and a half, and so I literally before the show, like, you may have a beer, but shout out to Beekeepers Naturals if you want to sponsor the pod. I just used their immune support daily throat spray to help hopefully not make my sickness any worse. I'm feeling better now, but I'm just afraid that it's going to come back. And travel always is weird, but the vibes are good. I feel like it's an exciting time, and Miami's going to be a good time itself.
Same. I'm ready. Atlanta's a fun city. Indianapolis is a good city. LA was fun, but I didn't like the whole setup there. And look, really cool stadium. Rain, it sucked.
LA was not the vibe. LA missed the vibe check, and that's mostly because it's just not a city where things are close in the way that you are like an Indy. Like, that's so tough. Yes. And Miami is certainly really fun.
No, it's a cool area. It's a great city, warm weather. Fun matchup. Like, we just recorded predictions for this, and you kind of make the joke, like the matchup we all saw coming. When you actually think about this, it's pretty wild that this is our final game, and I mean that in a really positive way.
I mean, Clemson and Penn State couldn't even sniff this game, so
seriously,
it's just wild. Even like Ohio State losing when they did, like, there's so much of this that is nuts that this is the season we got, and it's great for college football. To the point I was trying to make earlier is like, sure, it's not boring. Like, it's not. This season was so exciting, and for good and bad, by the way. But I feel like the last couple of years we've really sort of known what was coming, and this felt exciting and like very refreshing.
I think the energy from teams there, I think that's going to be, I'm really looking forward to Media Day because like these are two teams that are going to be thrilled to be there. Now they've done this a few times now, right? But so I remember like, Ohio State last year, Ryan Day was just like, fuck, but this is different. It's Miami. It's
Do you remember Georgia a few years
Oh
ago?
God.
Those players were like, "We don't want to fucking be here." Like
Yeah,
starting,
like and
like,
like
they've been there, done that. The Natty, they were like, "I don't want to be here," and
no,
it was
it
it was a hard media day. It was a really hard media day.
well this is yeah, think about Miami, A&M, playing at A&M, like this is
Sneaking
it's a
in,
hell of a month, right? Like so
crazy.
no, we are excited. I'm also really I've had a bunch of people asking me about tickets. Like, hey, you got to have it in, right? I do not have it in.
Yeah,
I if this were on a college campus of some kind, maybe. And I'm blown away. I have it up right here. Like the cheapest ticket I'm seeing right now is still about $3,000. I mean, it is wild to see some of these tickets just to get in. It's
yeah.
insane.
Well, and so actually, funny you mentioned that. Like I mentioned last week, I went to the Niners game versus Seahawks, the last regular season game, which by the way, go Niners this weekend. Okay. I'm gonna be stressing like no other. But I sometimes, because we often go to games and do not worry about the cost of a ticket or transportation to the game or, what time you need to get in, what you need to bring, like we get to just go and enjoy. Like everything else is kind of figured out for us. Of course, we're working and there's things like that. But sometimes, like going to that game reminded me, and then seeing these ticket prices reminded me of how lucky we are
Yes.
that, like, we get to go to the national championship and not worry about a ticket. Like, full disclosure, you and I both talked about like our significant others coming to Miami. And Nick's like, thank goodness I didn't book a flight because look at these ticket prices to go,
It's great. It's
And it's
crazy.
like, it is crazy. So we are very spoiled that we get to go and don't have to pay those prices. But also, that's just the nature of one, these two teams specifically being in, but also the nature of the sport. Like you and I talked a lot about some of the like views for some of these playoff games, even some bowl games really getting a spike in viewership. And I think it's just a testament to, yes, the sport is absolutely a mess, but it's headed in the right direction in terms of the quality of the product that we are getting.
So before we dive into the game, we'll spend some good amount of time diving into the game. There's a lot going on in college football. A
The
lot.
transfer portal.
The transfer portal. We should talk about Dante Moore going back to Oregon.
Yes.
So we did a show yesterday, and it's funny. We were trying to plan out this live show and all these things we are going to talk about, and all these players, and we kept having to change. Players were
Yeah.
committing, and Moore's situation was pretty fresh. So I'm not shocked. I'll look at this through a little bit of an NFL lens. Um, I don't think he was ready.
Yeah.
And I'm a Jets fan, so everyone's gonna say, "Oh my God, he's just a salty Jets fan." No, I think against Indiana, he has not had a ton of reps, and like there's a path for him to be the number one overall pick next year, but it's going to be pretty crowded, right? You've got Julian
Yeah.
Sand, you're going to probably have Arch Manning, like it's going to be really interesting. So I think it's really interesting for this year at the quarterback position. It's a fucking ghost town, other than Mendoza, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a really weird year. But Moore's decision to come back, not shocking. Dylan Raiola kind of is. I mean, he has been all gas, no brakes since he arrived at college football.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that he's doing this and that
I do too. I think
I
it's
think
the
it's smart.
smartest thing you could possibly do. It genuinely, seeing some other players that have maybe come in with his sort of like highly anticipated expectations and all of those things. I think this is a smart move for him personally, and I think it keeps you from it getting away from you. So like
Yes.
a DJU, like that got away from them. A Nico
It did.
Yamaleava, it got away from them. Like this potential to, and I mean, I will even say that about Damon Williams. It's like, okay, it could have gotten away from him by trying to keep up with this and listening to the wrong people tell you that you need to be, making these decisions based on the right now and what you can make and all of these things. Like that's something that you have to be really, really careful about. And it is brutal in this day and age. I will say Ty Simpson definitely turned down that money because Dante Moore was coming back. He was like, oh, okay, that gives me a spot in the draft. Let's go. But I will say, like, that's crazy money that they were going to pay Ty Simpson to go to Miami. Also, Miami, not looking great in terms of quarterback and, like, their formula for bringing in, you know?
I think that the deeper you go in the playoffs, the harder this is.
Yes.
And they're, you know, you look at the quarterback situation, Miami fans will tell you they feel good about what they have. It's non-traditional, we've seen, right? Unless you have like an established starter. But yeah, in terms of, you know, who's left, they're kind of going to go with what they got, most likely, unless something changes. But
well, I was actually having this conversation with Nick, my husband, because I was like, he was like, I don't really understand the decision in terms of like, yes, he's getting money to come back, but it's not the money that he would be getting in the NFL this year. And he's probably going to get less money next year based on where he'll be. But it's also for me, like, because I was like, I think it's a long-term decision. He was like, well, the guaranteed money would be a long-term decision. But I was like, I genuinely think it's to be in the best position to not just have that rookie contract be your only thing, have it be like an extended time and career in the NFL and actually develop. And make it be more realistic, not just prisoner of the moment. Okay, this contract for this amount of time. Because again, that you just don't know what those years hold for you in the NFL, especially based on which team you go to. Like, there's a lot of that probably is still part of this, where the temporary money helps you out. And obviously now there's insurance policies and all those things.
For sure.
In case you get injured, all of that. But it is something where it's like, okay, yes, the guaranteed money is there, but it's like you could potentially have 10 times that guaranteed money if you have a longer NFL career and actually develop as a player and go to the right spot. And it felt like he made the right decision. And like I said to you on that live show, like, this doesn't surprise me because this guy transferred and knew he was sitting behind someone. Like, he did it with the purpose of getting better and actually growing and developing. And I think that's super important. And honestly, probably really impressive to NFL teams that will scout this guy in the future, of his patience and willingness to be a team player and genuinely focus on the getting better as a player versus the money aspect.
You know, in terms of just a general, there's a couple players we could hit on, but hitting on the class rankings, right? And this is through 24/7. Yeah. Miami is currently number 49 in terms of rank, where they are in terms of transfer portal rankings. I hesitate to cite these, but it is notable. Indiana's number 6. So while we could say playing in the playoff is hard, Indiana seems to be doing all right. LSU number 1, Ole Miss number 2. I just find that funny. Texas, I think, has done a really good job. 3. I'll highlight Oklahoma State at 5. Oklahoma State went to North Texas, got their coach, secured their star quarterback and their star running back. And the roster, I think they had more transfers than anybody in the country. Yeah, I mean, it's wild. But you have a foundation where you're going to be instantly like better because you have 2 elite players, I think. And so it's really interesting to see the way teams do it. You and I talked yesterday, though, like Alabama, not so hot. You know, Georgia, 31st. Wisconsin, we're going to invest and we're doubling down. Number 41 in the country. Right?
I will say for Alabama and Georgia, I think the other thing that is important with them is that high school recruit wise and like developing the talent that they do get out of high school is a factor there.
Totally.
So they have some of the best, specifically for Georgia. I wouldn't necessarily say for Alabama, but I would say Georgia is in that position, I think. But to the point about Georgia, it's more like they're not in a position where I'm worried about that for them. Whereas Alabama, I am worried about that because something does need to change. Something does need, with DeBoer, like there's a sense of urgency to make big changes and big shifts. And I think getting in the portal is an easy way to do that. And it's surprising that they didn't use that to their favor. Whereas Georgia, I think Kirby is, still has some of the best players and athletes in the country going there out of high school. So he doesn't need that as much as before. And also, I will say it's probably a nature of like the talent he had on his roster this year, being able to develop those guys. And we saw it. They got a lot better as the year went on. So I think it's certainly a red flag for me in terms of Alabama, and also Wisconsin. That's like a giant, like, what are you doing? Also, Florida State.
Florida State's the other one. I'm glad you brought it up.
I'm like,
I was gonna.
what are we doing, guys?
Well, what we're doing is we're trying to avoid paying massive buyouts, and we're doubling down. But Florida State number 28, right, and Alabama 34. Different scenario. Florida State 28, Wisconsin 41. Who else kept their coach? Right, Baylor 33.
Yeah, I do want to mention Colorado because I think something to very much keep an eye on, though, is what's leaving. They have the best offensive lineman in the country that is leaving, and that he made comments about other people transferring and things like that, and like loyalty, and now he's doing that. There had to have been something very significant for him to want to transfer.
Yeah.
Yes. I was just going to say, it had to have been the cash. Like, it had to have been significant. And that's something where Coach Prime talked to Colorado about getting more money for NIL and things like that. And they simply said no. So that, I think, we're going to start to see take an impact, where it's not that Dion can't bring them in or retain them. I think a little bit might be the retention, in the sense of like what's been going on with them in terms of on the field. But
I don't.
Yeah, the paycheck's going to be much bigger somewhere else. So Jordan Seaton's like, yeah, I'm going to go.
I don't think this Colorado thing, and I've learned to love Dion. I think I love that he's into the sport. I've gained obviously newfound respect for him enduring what he did and still coaching, and the way he handled it. It doesn't feel like this thing, from a purely coaching standpoint, is trending in the right direction, right? And North Carolina is another one, by the way. Bill Belichick, number 43 in the country. So, what's going to happen there? Really, really interesting. So it's fascinating, right? These rankings don't mean shit. The talent.
We talked about how LSU had the number 1 class last year, and they obviously didn't do it. And then Texas Tech proved it can be significant in terms of that, which, by the way, they loaded up once again, and also got a quarterback, which I think, like, super exciting. I cannot wait for next year already.
I do think you'll see the power of making a coaching change. LSU and Ole Miss 1 and 2. I know coaching change, a little odd, but let's call it what it is. Penn State, Oklahoma State, Kentucky are 4, 5, and 7. So these are administrations that, you know what I mean? Like Virginia Tech, number 12, Cal, number 15, Auburn, 16th.
Let's also talk the reverse of that. Iowa State, Utah,
bad.
Hosed.
Yeah, bad.
Absolutely hosed. Utah less so because of the sense that, like, you knew that he was either going to retire.
Yeah,
and like
true.
You knew who their coach was going to be. He's been named his successor for quite some time, for almost 2 years, I think now. So yeah, that also, like, big blow to you as Utah, where like you think he's going to ride off into the sunset, and it's like, nope, he's actually going to go somewhere else and likely be in contention for a national championship immediately.
Here's another one. Number 65, Clemson. Number 64, Washington State. Number 71, Iowa, by the way. Just throw that out there.
Where's Arizona?
They were number 48.
Okay.
So right behind BYU.
We're returning quite a bit, though. We're returning quite a bit, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, no. So this is not final, but it is telling. And I will say, like, we talked yesterday about some of the players, and we could do this. I've been wanting Sam Levitt and Lane Kiffin to pair up for like 3 months. I am happy it is happening. I think Levitt is a tremendous talent.
Yeah.
I think Lane is going to maximize his NFL worth. I think Levitt, if he's healthy, which he wasn't this year, is going to like give them a dynamic that they desperately need, because it's not just his ability. It's they need like an attitude about them. And Levitt has that. Lane has that. I think that's an unbelievably fun pairing.
Sam Levitt certainly does, and I hope off the field stuff he realizes this isn't Arizona State. That shit's gonna be so public and so out there, so be careful.
Yes.
Just a warning. Do you want to talk about Kenny Dillingham for a moment? Do you think in like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, he's gonna really regret not leaving Arizona State?
It's a great question. They did pretty well in the portal, by the way. They're a top 15 class. it's a really we look at Indiana, look at LSU, look at Lane Kiffin, look at Kurt Signetti. I found Dillingham's dialogue to be very honest and really cool. And
Yeah.
do I think he's going to regret not taking the Michigan job? No. Do I think maybe we'll look back on this and say, oh, we should have gone here or there? I don't think the Michigan job was a good fit. He's a really interesting example. I don't know. He seems genuinely happy there. It seems
but like you want to win national championships, and can you do it at Arizona State? I know Indiana obviously is proof that it can be done at places that aren't traditionally making it happen, but it's just like, can you, with the resources that you have and the way that you want to do it, can you do it there? Whereas, like, I think if he was at a blue blood school, he could be the Kenny Dillingham.
This is the Ole Miss LSU because I think Ole Miss's ceiling is higher than Arizona State's. It presently, conference wise, resource wise, everything else. No, I don't know if they can win a championship at Arizona State. And
for my sake, let's hope they don't. I mean, let's just put that out
there. We also said the same thing about
Dillingham. Oh my God, I cannot have that happen at Arizona State. Please do not do that to me.
I wonder what job would say for him would be like, wow, this is the job, or if like he's gotten like 3 raises in 2 years or something like that.
You know what place I could actually see him that I feel like it would make sense? Think ACC.
Clemson.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
Florida State would be pretty good too, by the way.
Well, that would actually be slam dunk. That's where it's at. But then you fire one ASU guy for another ASU guy, so.
But that I mean, those are 2 jobs to keep an eye on, by the way.
That would actually, that's what I mean. So Kenny. Look, I'm just trying to get him out of the state of Arizona.
I love that.
And I actually really, really like him, and so I want him to go to a place where I can root for him and his success, because I cannot do that presently, and that's okay.
I think it's a great question, and I think it's the question of what's going on right now too, because you've got all these guys and moves that are happening that are going to happen in real time. Is there what other fits? I'm looking at this list of quarterbacks, and I thought that Hollywood Smothers to Texas was an awesome fit. I know it was filled with drama with the Bama thing, but I think running back at Texas has been a position that has not performed to expectations. This dude is really good, really good. I thought that was a great steal for them.
I think just the fact that they're getting weapons for Arch.
Yeah.
Arch is their guy. We're not having I think for Texas, this whole offseason has been a win in the sense that we're not having the conversations that I thought we were going to have this offseason about Texas, and that's a really big positive.
Yeah, totally, because Cam Coleman, too, is two, like, hugely explosive playmakers. Yeah.
And to your point about the run game, like, and this is something that we can say about Julian Sayin and Ohio State, like, Sark's offense rolls when their run game is rolling, and that also relieves a lot of pressure, lets them kind of ease in for Arch, whereas they did not have that this year. And I think we saw it really work for Julian Sayin in Ohio State. And I do think that that's going to be something that's really beneficial for Arch, is not to have to be so on and to really take the time and process that stuff early in the season as that offense sort of gets going, where the pressure isn't as much as it maybe was to start the season this year.
The other one that I think kind of flew under the radar, and maybe a similar situation to Oregon, is Deuce Knight to Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I mean, the glimpses of him, a 5-star kid he is an exceptional, like, off the charts athlete. And obviously they have to refine him as a passer. But then we talk to, what is Sham Bliss's, what's going to happen there, which is a mess. But that's another guy who may have to redshirt. You know what I mean?
Also, the redshirt rule. Can we talk about this for a second?
Yeah, it's very stupid.
What a joke. Like, why are we not just treating them like professionals at this point?
Everyone's job can be tough. But I think about being in the NCAA, and I'm not even going to rip the NCAA at this point. The system is so fractured Like it's such a
So
mess.
inconsistent. All the rules, literally the rules are set, and it's like they can be broken. There's exceptions, and there's
Well,
exceptions to every single rule. Let's find the loophole, or let's just change the rules so we can make it work for this one specific player or group of players. Like it is a joke. I would be frustrated if I was just a kid who wasn't a 5-star or wasn't like an elite talent that was just trying to navigate this. This would be a little bit of bullshit.
it is.
So yeah, the rule
but
change went
also
from 4
like
games. So it went from, by the way, 4 games to 9 games. That's so dumb.
I do wonder if Chambliss looks at this quarterback class and relinquishes his fight, because I'll tell you, as a
He should. He already got to 9 once. Why are
desperate
we doing
Jets
this?
fan, I'm like, sir, please.
Sure.
I like, I know he hasn't played a lot, but good Lord, the reps are good. The snaps, like, there's a lot to like. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think the Sorsby fit at Texas Tech is funny. When I was talking about this, I had people on Twitter who were like, I mean, you looked at his stats at Cincinnati, it's like, this is not Cincinnati. He will be, this is
not Cincinnati
different
in a lot of ways.
This is so different. And then DJ Lagway is going to remain a football unicorn. I think, I don't know how the greatness will be unlocked. I actually like that. Is it official that he's going to Baylor at this point? Is it done? Okay.
It's verbal and he announced, but yeah, nothing has been signed, and a bunch of other schools were still trying for him.
So Miami's going to give him $48 million?
I literally was like, if you're Miami, you have to just throw so much money at him and hope for the best, but also how terrible would that be to bring him in and have it go like it went at Florida? You know what I mean?
Well, that's, I think Baylor is kind of a good, a little
there's
out of the spotlight. Yeah.
Totally. Not in the SEC or a big power program like that. No offense, Baylor. But yeah, I think it would be more beneficial. But yeah, the weirdness around everybody committing and then hearing that they're taking visits and phone calls from people still and not like, can we just get to the point where we have like legitimate contracts that hold up in court that are not these fake ones that can be reversed? Yeah, the whole thing is just bizarre.
It is.
So, yeah.
All right, we want to talk Natty?
Let's talk Natty.
So, the current point spread for this game, Indiana is now favored by 8.5. It was 7.5. And the total is, I think, down a half point to 47.5. Big favorite. This is interesting, right? So, and I'll do some quick digging on this, but and I made this yesterday. If you would have told me a year ago that Indiana would have been almost a double-digit favorite in the championship, I would have told you that very funny. But
yes,
here we are, and I don't think clearly the money is coming in on Indiana. They're moving the line. I think you'll get some Miami buyback a little bit. Like I think you'll get some of that. I don't know where we want to start with this game. And we can just keep it open and go. What is the first thing you think about when you think of the matchup?
So I feel bad because I want to have faith in Miami, but I feel like they've been so good this entire playoff that I'm just waiting for them to Miami it. Like I am really waiting for it. And Indiana has just been so like they are not shaken. They just do not get rattled. Like there's, even when you were mentioning when we were doing the preview, like the Iowa game and the Penn State game, like that Penn State game for me is like the reason I've just continued to have faith in them, because of how they were able to mentally handle that, physically handle that. And I really just think it's going to be a fun start to the game. And I think by the fourth quarter, it's not going to be in reach for Miami. I think it's going to be a 2-score game by the fourth quarter.
So there's a lot of fun with numbers in this game. When you look at scoring defense, Indiana 2, Miami 5. I would argue that Indiana overall has probably played a tougher schedule. But like when you look at turnover margin, Indiana number 1, Miami is 12. Both still really good. You look at third down conversions, Indiana number 1, Miami is number 18. Every stat you look at, Indiana is a little bit better. And in some instances, like penalties, Indiana's number 2, Miami's 85. So the Ole Miss game is like a microcosm of all things Miami. Flashes of absolute fucking brilliance, flashes of
Disaster.
stupidity, and missed opportunity. They dropped 4 interceptions. They had a ton of penalties. There were some really stupid play calls. Can we not do the flea flicker anymore, by the way? NFL and college, like, it is not working, folks. Like, shut it down.
Shut it down.
And then the Carson Beck factor, by the way. That's the last one. What did you think of his game? Like I'm watching him and I'm like, man, what? Like, his arm does not look healthy.
No. And here's the thing is, like, that line is amazing. Like, and Ole Miss was like the least of their competition, I would say, probably through the playoff in terms of defensive line. No offense to them, but and also just their defensive calls as well. But it's just not enough for me to be like, wow, I have the confidence that he could really do this. Now, here's the thing: if Miami can find what they sort of how they've won all of their playoff games, if they can grind it out and time of possession is them and they don't go 3 and out and they could really extend it and keep possession of the ball for a long time, they have a chance. Because that's
State blueprint.
That's the only way that you survive Indiana. Like, that's the only way, because they're going to get theirs. Like, I know Miami's defense is good. They're going to get theirs. Like, Indiana is going to get theirs. And Indiana's defense in the red zone is so fucking hard to score on.
It's
you need to capitalize on those moments, but eat clock and find a way to get explosive plays and score on those. Because it's kind of like a, I don't know, it's weird to say, yeah, you need to grind the clock, but also have explosive plays. But like, it's gonna have to be the perfect combo of like grinding clock, big explosive play to score, because like that's just the only way that you are going to beat this team. And I just don't know that Carson Beck has that in him, especially under the pressure, the way he's going to be under pressure versus Indiana.
The Ohio State game, which we saw, and they did,
really?
Is the formula. They control. Actually, it's funny because I looked this up. Like, Ohio State and Indiana, I think, are very evenly matched. We saw in the Big Ten championship game, Ohio State lost their damn mind, could have won that game. Play call, whatnot. Indiana went out and then won it. Indiana controlled the clock. Miami controlled the clock against Ohio State for 33 minutes 26. It's an advantage. It's not huge. 0 penalties. They forced 2 turnovers. They turned the ball over once. Carson Beck was 19 for 26 for 138 yards. Did not have to do much. They averaged 4 yards per carry versus Ohio State, which was the big deal. Mark Fletcher and Brown, like those running backs have been the story. So if Fletcher is going, if they're doing that and they can do that, then they will absolutely have a shot. It's just, do you have faith in them? Do you have faith in them to recreate this? I just don't. I think they can do it. We've seen them do it. This game, 24-14, exceptional. I just wish I felt better about it than I do.
Also, just a funny from yesterday, BR put together a sim of the game, and we were supposed to like color commentate over it. And it was so funny when you went, oh, so we're just making all of our field goals in this. Hilarious part of that is that, like, no, there will be a missed field goal. Like, is that a bet you can make that there will be a missed field goal? Because absolutely there will be a missed field goal or extra point. It will happen. That will happen.
All right, I'll be your Huckleberry. Give me a minute. We're going to look through some national championship. Yeah, we got to. I think that's our calling, by the way.
Us reacting, but also just the fact that, like, oh god, it's just so good.
There are kicking props.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh wait, we got total. There'll be more of these. Total field goals in the first half: over 1.5, plus 130, under 1.5, minus 166. We need to add to those, please.
I need missed because
they will get that going. I haven't looked much at these. I've been just worried about the game.
Can you bet in Florida? I don't think you can you?
Yes,
You can't, or you can at the casino, right?
and I think Hard Rock app also works.
Well, we're gonna find our way to Hard Rock.
The other thing I'll say about Miami,
the team or the city?
Well, the team. We'll talk about the city. Tony is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, and so you have a player that is better than what Indiana has to offer. Like, you have a player who is
yes,
and Indiana is great, but they don't have that. That is just like a God-given exceptional player.
However, I will say, I think Indiana's secondary has not been given a lot of credit defensively this season, and I think they deserve that more so. And so,
they're awesome.
Can him, then great. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge for sure.
I am. I'm very excited about this. And while we are both picking Indiana to win and cover, I believe.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if Miami's in this game. Like, I don't think this is going to be. It's not going to be. I don't think this is going to be what Indiana's been doing all.
Yeah, we don't think this is going to be TCU Georgia over again.
What do you?
I was explaining. That's also part of why LA was not fun. That game was so horrible to watch. I've never been actually tortured watching a football game in terms of like just it being bad. That was a horrible game to watch.
It was awful.
In person, I was like, this is taking forever, and why are we here?
What do you think in terms of points? Now, I like the over a little bit. Both of these defenses are ranked as one of the best in college football. Indiana is like single-handedly crushing overs this year. Like, it's a weird trend.
What did you say the total was?
47.5.
See, I have it slightly under. The score prediction I had was 27-17.
So you're right around there. Like, I think there's going to be action here. Like, and I don't know if that results in the over or not, but I don't think this is like a putt-filled game. I think Miami's got to be careful with the football, actually, is really what I'm getting at with this. I'm excited for this. The point spread says one thing, but I think the game itself is going to be hugely compelling. Do we also expect it to be... So Miami's playing it at home. Indiana has been traveling incredibly well. I'm expecting this to be 65, 70% Indiana.
Yeah, even though it's Miami home, yeah. It's absolutely going to be mostly Indiana fans.
Which, by the way, we are out and about in Miami, like, we've had Georgia fans barking at us. Like, are Indiana fans just going to be like, I don't know what to do with myself? And
they're like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to run India.
Yeah. Hey, or just honestly, absolutely shit-faced and...
Oh, but just in the nicest way. Like, I feel like Indiana fans are nice drunks. You know what I mean?
Well, we're going to find out.
Like, Georgia fans, I can't say the same for you. Sorry, no offense.
Ohio State fans, kind of like...
Yeah.
Yeah, like, get out of my way, nerd.
Yeah. Also, before we logged on, I was telling you that there are two people that I really would like to see in Miami at the game. So one of the things that's cool about the national championship over the years is that we've had some celebrity sightings on the sideline, or just like college football people in the building that are not playing in the game. That's really cool to see in person. I told you there's two people. I need to see The Rock. Like, I need The Rock to be there.
Yep,
that would be very exciting to see him in person. I love him so much. And the other person is Alex Earl. I need her to be there. I know I told you there's some weirdness because her ex-boyfriend played at Miami, so maybe he'll be there. But if I do see him there, that will also feel weird for me because it's a very parasocial relationship that I have with that. But it's not normal. But I love Alex Earl so much, and I hope she's there, and I hope I get to see her in the flesh.
You are going to get a lot of, like, football fans of my age,
like Miami, so I feel like there's going to be some.
Well, Miami's like football alumni are exceptional. Michael Irvin is just beating the shit out of everything on the sideline through playoffs, and you're going to get Ray Lewis and probably Ed Reed and Greg Olson. I mean, it was like it's amazing. It's just been a minute for these guys to be able to show up and mean it, and
be excited.
But oh my God, like that. That part of this is awesome. I do I do want to ask you about something. If Indiana wins, we may even write about this, is, how do we view their season? How do we view this team? Do we have to compare them to LSU of
No.
2019 or
No, this
Alabama
is
09?
different.
Yeah,
This is
right.
not
But
about talent. This is about story. This is about sports. This is about defying the logic that is what the state of college football is right now. Indiana is more about the season they had and the fact that this is a complete program turnaround in a few years, and that has not been that nothing like that has ever been done in a college program ever. So like this is different than those like teams that we looked at their rosters yesterday with some of the greatest like college football teams in terms of like the guys that left and went on to the pros and are exceptional and are Hall of Fame players. That's a different category than what this Indiana team is. And sure, we can certainly look back. You and I said this yesterday. We could look back and this might be in the same comparison later on.
Yeah.
In terms of what these guys do at the next level. But for right now, it's literally about the fact that like this is a college football program that completely overhauled and has just shocked the sport that it happened at Indiana and not somewhere else in this age of college football.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't put this team above 2019 LSU.
No.
I think the Alabama teams probably, some of them had a better case. I think going undefeated in this era, if they do, is one of the cooler, craziest things, because that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
It's the greatest football season ever, though.
Well, and also to do it in this era of expanded playoff. To me, to have like winner go home, this many winner go home games to win before you win a national championship is incredibly impressive.
I could write my story for after the game right now. Like I have it in my head. And we joked because we wrote about Indiana last week, and we've had to write, and not just us, but everybody, the same Indiana story for 2 years, which is like, holy shit. This is like, and so it becomes difficult to quantify. And we often look for ways to say, like, you do this, team. This is what you do. Shithead program looking for a month. You don't recreate this. You will not recreate this. I don't know how you categorize this. And then you made the point yesterday, and this is the part I think that's really interesting. We saw TCU come in like a fucking shooting star and make it to a championship game and get throttled, and then largely go away. They've been fine, but they've not validated it. This is not going to add. They're expecting this next year with Josh Hoover is I don't think we'd expect this. They're going to lose a lot of really good players, but they're going to be a pain in the ass. They're going to be relevant. They're going to be a contender. There's no reason to believe this is going to stop, and that's the difference. This ain't one and done. I think this is the beginning, and so
even though you want him to leave and go coach the Steelers, Kurt Siniani.
Well, I don't want to believe, but like, I mean, just keep an eye out. He is a Pittsburgh guy. We're watching John Harbaugh get $20 million a year to go coach the Giants, and Pittsburgh could say, "Here's $20 million a year," which will be, I don't know, not double what he's making in Indiana, but a nice raise. And oh, by the way, you don't have to recruit. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that?
Sorry, I got a text message and I missed what you just said. That's the nature of what just happened.
Was it a good text message?
It is. It's one I can't even read on live. Sorry, what am I imagining?
What the fuck? No, I mean, oh man.
I can't read it to you.
That's way more interesting than what I just said.
You asked me just now, sorry. You're like, I don't even know.
I'm distracted. Oh, Signetti coaching Pittsburgh.
Could I imagine it?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but I would also hate it because I want him to stay in college football.
His little fucking smirk. His little. I've already thought about what I'm going to ask him at Media Day, and I'm interested to see his general state of existence. Like,
yeah, that'll be interesting.
Does your wife, when you get home, comment on your facial expressions?
Like, I also I cannot wait for Fernando Mendoza,
goofball
champion. Just I live for that. I live for a good guy just being just so happy.
Will
celebrating with
Ferrell cheer
his
at the
family.
locker room. We can't lose our composure. That's what I think about with him.
His family, like, everything about that is going to make me, like, cry in real time. So just be prepared for some tears. And I'm not even an Indiana fan.
I love him. He is our big, beautiful goober quarterback. And he is fucking good. I am so sad that my Jets will not be drafting him and won't have a chance to draft him. Because he is just a big guy having a good time. And is also, like, some of the balls he threw in that Oregon game, like, God damn it, man. That was his 5th game with more touchdowns and incompletions? Like,
insane.
All right. Anything else? We have to go get ready. We have early flights.
Travel tomorrow. Yes.
Any other?
No, happy birthday.
Thank you. We are currently doing a little baby remodel on our kitchen, so I'm going to go home to chaos. And birthdays as you get older get a little weird. I'm not sad. I don't mind turning 41. It's all good. But, like, I'm working all day. It's just like
we didn't have a high noon on this show. It was just weird.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm glad you talked me out of that because this was great.
Thank you.
It's more of like the nervous energy before tomorrow. Maybe that's kind of what is.
I know it's the travel anticipation. I'm ready. I cannot wait to just be there.
Yeah, like I get in reasonably early. You settle in. That first hotel beer, man, it is so good. And is the weather? Have you looked at the weather?
Yes. So it was rainy this week, but I feel like. Let me see.
Because that would
it
suck.
Looks like it's still going to be pretty warm for us. I
don't need Atlanta 2.0.
No, today's high is 72. Tomorrow's only 67, but then, there might be a shower or two on Saturday. 73, 76 on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. That's beach day right there.
And then Monday, partly sunny, not as warm, 68 degrees.
That's perfect.
So Sunday looks like our good day.
Did you know that there is a Miami, Indiana? Like, there's a city in Indiana named Miami? I did not.
No.
I put in Miami into theoldweather.com. And the first thing that comes up is, are you looking
It said you're probably closer to that, so.
Could you imagine living? I very much am. Other than that, we've got a game to cover. What are we doing pod? Are we going to do it post? That's always kind of up in the air.
I think we're going to do it post.
There'll be a pod up.
There will be a pod after the game, at least.
Witching hour?
Yeah. We'll see how the game goes.
Yeah, we might do it at halftime.
Yeah.
So, all right. We got travel to do. Enjoy the game. We will talk to you guys after the game. For Paige and Adam, see ya.